Hello everyone, my name's Barralet of Crystal Connections, and today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about perfumes and colognes. Now, I must admit, when I was younger, I loved my colognes. On birthdays and Christmases, people would go, "What do you want, Adam?" And I'd say, "Just give me a gift voucher for the department store." And I'd go down there and I'd find my favorite cologne from, Gaultier or Armani or Terry Mugler or whoever it was kind of thing. And I had a nice collection and I loved choosing and wearing different ones all the time. But as I started to learn more about natural health and well-being, I started to learn a lot about different fragrances and perfumes and colognes and all the different things that are actually in there. And I stopped wearing them. And today, what I want to share with you is some of the discoveries I made and some of the alternatives that you can use as well. So I love a good slideshow. So you don't have to look at my face the whole time. I'm going to pull up a bit of a slideshow. And today, what I want to talk to you about is killer perfumes and how you can smell good naturally. So the first thing I want to offer as a bit of a challenge for you is, do you know what's actually in your fragrances, in your perfumes and your colognes? Can you find the ingredients listing? Now, it won't be on the bottle, it won't be on the box, and you're probably not going to find it on the website as well. What happens is it's really hard to find. So I started doing a little bit of looking, and I was talking to a friend of mine overseas, and he was telling me how one of his favorite fragrances was one of the Chanel ones. And so I said, "Oh, can you find the ingredients?" Now, on their website, this is how they describe it: a woody aromatic fragrance, which is identified by a combination of aromatic herbs with an opulent center and base. The fragrance contains top notes of lemon, mint, pink pepper, and grapefruit, middle notes of ginger, nutmeg, and jasmine. So far, so good. They all sound like plants. That sounds healthy. And base notes of labdanum, sandalwood, patchouli, vetiver. Yes, they're all plants. Incense. How do we get the smell of incense? And cedar and white musk. Now, that's how they describe it. Now, overall, that just sounds like a beautiful bunch of plants all in a bottle. Wow, perfect. That can't be dangerous until we actually get the true listing of it. Now, hopefully you can read that on the screen, but you can see there is alcohol, fragrance, water, limonene, linalool, citronellol, and geraniol are in there. Now, they are all found in plants, but the fact that they're actually listed like that would suggest more that these fragrant or aromatic compounds are actually artificially made in a laboratory, not from a plant. And then you've got a whole range of other things that I'm not even going to try and embarrass myself by trying to pronounce. But when you start looking at what the dangers of the different ingredients are, we look at things like they cause allergies, they're toxic to the immune system, they can cause contact dermatitis, they bring on a moderate risk of cancer, they are sourced from petroleum, they can accumulate in our organs, they can cause cadmium poisoning, all these different things. Not as glamorous as the websites paint this Chanel fragrance to be. Now, is this just a Chanel fragrance and the bad one and we should steer clear from this? No. Surveys have been done on really inexpensive fragrances all the way up to the high-end ones, and a lot of the ingredients in them are things that we wouldn't want to be putting in our body. The other things that are found in them are parts of animals, including horse urine and whale vomit. So did you know that manufacturers are actually not required to list the fragrance ingredients on a product label? They often just use one word, fragrance. And you'll see on that Chanel fragrance, the second ingredient, a bit of alcohol, then fragrance. Now, the fragrance is an umbrella term which is used to label around 100 different things. And it can be a cocktail of toxic ingredients that we don't know about. Why they're allowed to get away with this is they argue that it's a trade secret. If we tell you what's actually in there, other people might try and make it as well. So in the way of, the essence of keeping trade secrets, we're all putting toxic things upon ourselves. So some of the common things that you'll find in them will be things like styrene, phthalates, aldehydes, benzyl acetate, yellow and brown camphor, ethyl acetates, methylene chlorides, and musk ketones. Now, some things to point out there, you can see, again, you've got things that have been banned in different countries. They cause dizziness, convulsions, twitching, coughing, lung and eye irritation, banned by the FDA. You may see yellow and brown camphor. Now, there are, in doTERRA, which I love to work with, one of their essential oils contains white camphor. So there are actually 3 types of camphor: white, yellow, and brown. White's a good one. Yellow and brown should be avoided because they're the ones that can cause dizziness, convulsions, nausea, muscle twitching, and convulsions. Another thing you'll notice that musk ketone. We're going to talk about that in just a second. Actually, it's on my next slide. So the truth about musk, where does musk actually come from? So natural musk does come from animals, in particular the male musk deer and the musk civet. And you can see the 2 adorable animals pictured here on the right-hand side. Now, basically what happens is they secrete from a gland, part of their mating ritual, I guess you'd say, this kind of strong, unpleasant smelling brown substance. And that's collected and then dried into a powder, and then it's soaked in ethanol for months or even years. And then that brings around this beautiful musk aroma. Now, I don't know off the top of my head, but something I'm kind of wondering is how on earth did they first discover that? Very, very interesting indeed. But that's where musk came from. But unfortunately, because people really want this natural musk aroma, it's led to both these animals becoming endangered. Now, the other thing is, the alternative is you can laboratory make these ingredients, and that's where things like musk ketones, which you can see on the bottom of this image, causes skin irritation and hormone disruptor. Now, hormones aren't just about making babies and women's menstrual cycles. Both women and men have hormones as one of the major communication forms in our body, and we use that to help with sleep, with mood, with temperature, a whole range of different things. So when we're actually using these hormone disrupting fragrances, we're actually it's like putting a cement wall in the way of your weak Wi-Fi connection. Do you mean? It stops the communication happening clearly. Now, as you may know, I've been spending a bit of time in the Middle East, and their favorite aroma there is oud. Let me tell you a little bit about oud. So oud comes from a tree called the agar tree, an agar wood. And what happens is when it becomes infected with this mold, in a defense mechanism, it's part of your tree's immunity, it produces this dark scented resin, and this is called oud. Now, this is naturally occurs in only about 2% of agar wood trees. But what's happened is because it's such a popular aroma and so many people want it, it's basically fueled this rising demand of oud. And basically these trees have become incredibly rare and threatened in the wild. People are chopping them down to get the wood that has the resin in them. They're infecting trees illegally and that type of thing. And as one journalist actually reported, there are people now getting killed in the hunt for the demand for oud because it's worth so much as well. So probably not something we want. So have I just ruined your day? Are we all destined to smell really bad? No, we're not. The great thing is that essential oils offer some great solutions for us. Not only do they smell great, but they're good for us as well. So doTERRA actually has some pre-made oil blends that are kind of made to be natural fragrances. One that's really divine is called Whisper. It's got a combination of patchouli, bergamot, sandalwood, rose, jasmine, cinnamon bark, vetiver, labdanum, ylang-ylang, cacao, and vanilla. Now, what I love about this one, this has been around for a long time in doTERRA. It still continues to be a favorite. Now, if we were sitting in a group and we all rolled Whisper on us, everyone would smell really different. It kind of brings out a unique aroma in each person, but all really, really lovely. Absolutely amazing one. Have to try Whisper if you haven't. Another beautiful one is called Hope. Now, Hope contains cedarwood, wild orange, lemon, petitgrain, pink pepper, bergamot, sandalwood, vetiver, magnolia leaf, and jasmine. Now, a couple of things that you might be interested in there. You go petitgrain and lemon petitgrain. What's the deal with that? Well, maybe you're already a doTERRA customer and you know that we can actually get petitgrain essential oil as a 15 ml bottle. We can use it in a diffuser. It's a great sleep oil and so on, often called lavender for men. It comes from the leaves and the twigs of the bitter orange tree. Now, the bitter orange tree gives us bitter orange oil, doesn't give us wild orange oil. That comes from the sweet orange. So the sweet oranges, which give us wild orange oil, and the bitter oranges, which give us neroli essential oil, funnily enough, and the petitgrain. But you can actually steam distill any citrus leaf and get a petitgrain essential oil. So this one has basically a bitter orange petitgrain and a lemon petitgrain. You could get bergamot petitgrain, you could get lime petitgrain, you could get grapefruit petitgrain, all the different ones as well. Another thing I'll point out is I'm going to talk in a little while about magnolia. That actually comes from the flower, but you can actually steam distill the leaves as well, and you get a really beautiful scented essential oil from the magnolia leaf. Now, this Hope blend is a really beautiful one, not only in the aroma. This is a new blend. They used to be a more simple blend of vanilla. There was vanilla, ylang ylang, bergamot, and frankincense, if my memory serves me rightly. But because of doTERRA's commitment to making sure that everything is sustainable, they've switched it up and created this beautiful new blend. It still smells really great. But part proceeds, it depends in which country you are and how the laws and how it all works kind of thing, but goes to helping our Healing Hands charity. Now, the Healing Hands charity is there to help fight human trafficking, victimization, and a whole range of different things. Sex trafficking is a problem around the world in both developed and developing nations. It's probably happening right under our nose and we don't actually realize it. And as one person who was telling me, and I went to an information session about human trafficking and the fight of human trafficking, is that it's becoming more popular because you can only sell a bag of drugs once, but you can sell a human, especially in sex trafficking, over and over and over again. So hope is actually not only great for you, but it actually gives hope to other people and helping them not only to fight and break up those sex trafficking and human trafficking rings, but also when people are saved, often they've been in these circles for a long time and you can't just put them back into society. So there's a lot of rehabilitation and the hope oil actually helps with that as well. If you'd like more information on that, please reach out to me and I can give you some links to read more about it as well. Now, when we think of fragrances and perfumes, we often think of romance, and doTERRA has a great blend called Passion. You can see in here, there are some aphrodisiac oils like jasmine, sandalwood, ylang ylang. Cinnamon bark is renowned for being a great aphrodisiac. So is cardamom as well, all really great. Another one you may not have heard of is Damiana. Now, it's a South American plant. Women will often brew the leaves and make a tea out of it, give it to their men to put them in the mood. So as an essential oil by itself, doesn't smell very impressive at all. It smells kind of dirty. But being added in the Passion, it brings in that kind of medicinal or those powerful effects. This is great as a romance oil and it can be worn for that. But the other reason I really like Passion is, you know, when we're feeling a bit uninspired or we lack passion or that we've lost that spark, we're feeling a bit apathetic. Think about when you come back from a holiday and you've got nothing to look forward to. This is where Passion can be really great as well. So then, as I suggested, doTERRA actually has a floral collection. These are a range of different oils. They come in rollers. And the reason they come in rollers is because they're actually diluted in a fractionated coconut oil. This is done for two different reasons. First of all, if you think about how thin flowers are, floral oils, when they're real, are often quite expensive because you need a lot of flour to get those oils out of there. So this is one way of making it affordable. The other cool thing is, you've probably heard in perfumes and in fragrance, I talk about top notes, middle notes, and base notes. So a top note is basically, the notes are talking about the size of the molecules. And top notes are very small, base notes are very big. And top notes will evaporate very quickly. You smell them first, and then they're gone. Florals, as well as citruses, tend to be top notes. And so if you were to put pure rose or pure jasmine onto your skin, it would evaporate quite quickly, and you're not going to get that aroma sticking around. By putting it in the carrier oil of coconut oil, it's going to stay there for a lot longer. So they have rollers that you can buy all the time. And at the moment, there are some gift sets. Jasmine, there's one of jasmine, neroli, and gardenia. This is 95% sold out at the moment. So it will probably sell out in the next 12 hours. So if you are keen on one of them, definitely want to shoot me a PM and I can help you out with that really quickly. So the advantages, obviously, they're beautiful smelling oils and we can use them for that. And what you can do is you can either wear just one, you might just want to wear rose, or you can make your own signature blend by like doing a line of rose and then a line of jasmine and then a line of osmanthus and see how that smells. And then the next day you can create something different as well, which is really, really cool. Also, we're talking about hormone disruption before with artificial ingredients in perfumes. Well, guess what? Flower oils are renowned for supporting the reproductive system of both men and women. So rolling it over the abdomen can be really great. Plus, floral oils are really good for the top layers of our skin. So what you can do each night and each morning actually with your floral oils, cleanse your face, wash your face, get your roller, roll it around your face, and then tone and moisturize over the top. However, what I wanted to do is I wanted to share a little bit with you about how all the floral oils can be used in these three ways But wait, there's more. Let me show you some other really beneficial things. So Rose is actually the queen of immunity, and I love to use her with frankincense and doTERRA's On Guard blend as overall immune support every single day. Now, there's this fascinating experiment done with doTERRA and Johns Hopkins University in the United States of America, where Johns Hopkins University were given all of doTERRA's single oils, and they had these petri dishes of 100 different bacteria and viruses and all different microbes. And they basically took turns with these different 100 types and put all the different oils on there one by one to see which one killed the most. Guess which one it was? Now, the fact that we're looking at the Rose slide might give you a bit of an idea. But yeah, Rose has been found to kill both gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria, which is really, really interesting. A lot of things will kill one or the other, especially even pharmaceuticals, but this actually kills both. So really, really great, especially if there's any bacterial skin infection. This will really help to support the skin get back to its normal health. Jasmine. Now, when you look at jasmine essential oil, this is a really great one when you're kind of surrounded by those dark clouds of depression and just feeling really, really low. Jasmine can be a really great mood lifter. Neroli. Now, neroli is a really great one for trauma and emotional outbursts. So she's ideal for times such as, one time my sister, when she was giving birth to my two nephews at different times, obviously that's a bit traumatic for the body. So what we actually gave her is neroli, and she'd roll that over herself afterwards to help her to relax. If I was in a car accident, I'd actually grab neroli afterwards to help just kind of calm me down. And in fact, when I injured myself, I once was just running around on the beach being a silly bugger and tore my my calf muscle. So I was in agony. Now, obviously, I use different essential oils that are renowned for, helping with that healing. Things like frankincense, copaíba, lemongrass. I use doTERRA's Ice Blue and Aromatouch blends. I was rubbing that all over the calf muscle. But obviously, you think about when we're in pain, we tense right up. And so I actually was rolling on my neck to just allow my body to let go of being in agony as well. So really great for that. I also know an aromatherapist who uses neroli quite often. She works with children with special needs. And one child in particular that she recounted these stories to me, where he will have these mega meltdowns and get quite emotional and quite violent. And when you're working with children, you're normally not allowed to restrain them or hold them or try and calm them down. You have to stand back. And he would even throw things. So what she would do is she would actually grab the neroli and she would roll it on her hands and her wrists, and she'd just go shh and kind of just waft it towards him. And she found that this was a really effective way. And he started to inhale that. Remember, when we inhale essential oils, it triggers different reactions, including emotional reactions with our brain. So it's not just woo. There's a science of the olfactory bulb detecting things, communicating to the limbic system, which is to do with fear, flight, emotions, and memories, and that talking to the hypothalamus and changing parts in our body. So neroli is really great for that kind of time as well. But wait, there's another cool study which found two groups of people, two different rooms, both given the same test that wanted them to kind of do a bit of lateral thinking and thinking outside the square. In one room, they diffused neroli. In the other room, they diffused nothing. And guess which group performed noticeably better? The neroli group. So if you need to find a solution to a problem, if you feel like you're going to have a meltdown, then neroli could be really great. Now, magnolia. So everyone's heard of lavender, and what makes lavender so relaxing is one of its constituents called linalool. And lavender has about 35%, it's made up of about 35% linalool. Magnolia is made up of 70% linalool. This is the magnolia flower now, not the magnolia leaf I was talking about before. So the really cool thing about this one is this is a really nice, relaxing one at night time. So not only can you smell great throughout the day and relax and help to calm down your central nervous system at times of stress, but at night, rolling it on your face, even rolling it on the soles of your feet as you get into bed can be really beautiful. Because magnolia is so gentle and so calming, she's really great around the eye area. We never put oils in our eyes or right near our eyes. I call it like the panda bone. If we were pandas, that's where the black circles would be. We can roll along there and just massage it or tap it in really lightly. And that can be really beautiful and calming to the eyes and the strain that we put on our eyes being in front of computers and things all the time. Osmanthus is this beautiful little yellow-orange flower that's native to parts of Asia. If you haven't smelled it before, it smells like peach wine cooler. If you're an Australian, you might know what peach wine cooler is. It's a cheap cask wine that tastes like peaches. If you don't, just think about it smells like peaches or apricots. Really, really nice. But this one, sorry, there's a bit of a typo on the slide. I just realized that when we're feeling really downtrodden, defeated, or pessimistic, it helps us to be a bit more, I think I was going to go optimistic and then upbeat, or in other words, upbeat, we'll call it. I've created a new word. If you want to be a bit more upbeat, optimistically upbeat, then osmanthus is a really great one to reach for. Now, Blue Lotus. Blue Lotus is a new oil that's available for limited times in doTERRA. It is available at the moment in different regions. If you need help getting it, I can help you out with that. Its main constituent is something called squalene. And I just did some Google searching quickly on what squalene is good for. And when we run through, squalene is renowned for being really good. It's a powerful antioxidant. It's anti-inflammatory. And so squalene is used to help with things like reducing the risk of chronic diseases such as heart disease, arthritis, and cancer. Squalene is really good for helping with the skin's natural protective barrier, especially with hydrating in that type of way. Really good for fine lines and wrinkles. Even cholesterol management, squalene is renowned for as well. So the fact that Blue Lotus has got a lot of that, that's really quite exciting. Gardenia. Gardenia is the one that's only available in that little pack that I showed you earlier that's going to run out very, very soon. So if you are interested in Gardenia, you need to reach out to me really, really quickly. A really great website or article, Dr. Axe, A-X-E, look up Dr. Axe Gardenia Essential Oil, talks all about Gardenia Essential Oil there. Some of the key points there about inflammatory diseases, helping us with support healthy digestion, and also being really good for hair care can be great as well. And then chrysanthemum. Not only will you smell great with chrysanthemum, she's known as the queen of the east, whereas rose is known as kind of the queen of the west. Chrysanthemum is the queen of the east, but also a really powerful insect repellent as well. So this could be a really nice one if you're going like for an outdoor movie in the evening or something like that. Get your chrysanthemum on you. So what you've got here is if you were to have all these in your collection, which is easily done, you know, if you're feeling a bit lousy or any bacterial issues, rose would be really great. If you're feeling, a bit blue, jasmine would be really great. If you've been going through some shock or you're feeling a bit emotionally, out of sorts, neroli would be really great. Or if you have to think outside the square, go for neroli as well. Bedtime or need to really relax, magnolia. Need to cheer up or be upbeat, as we call it now, osmanthus. Looking at all those different things there with the squalene, really great, especially for things like to do with the heart and circulation, helping to get that, back to healthy standards would be really great with Blue Lotus. Gardenia, really great for digestion and hair. And as your insect repellent, you've got the chrysanthemum. So, there's kind of like an aroma that has other benefits for all situations. Now, doTERRA does also do some natural fragrances from time to time, and I'm going to kind of unpack the ingredients in just the next slide. They like to kind of take inspiration from different parts around the world. So Sol No. 3 was one that was available in the past that was inspired by Brazil, had a very sunny, uplifting aroma. Quintana was inspired by India, had quite an exotic aroma to it. We actually do have one available in Australia at the moment called Majestic Law. Now, this is a unisex fragrance. And what I love, I actually found on their website, doTERRA's website, their ingredients listing. Now, to make it a bit easier to read, I bolded the ingredients, but basically you've got that natural alcohol and water up the top. If you kind of go down near the bottom, you'll see there's a beeswax extract. And based on how familiar all your essential oils, all those other ones are essential oils. So basically in their natural fragrances, they have a bit of water, a bit of alcohol, a bit of beeswax in this one. I don't think there was beeswax in some of the other natural fragrances. I'm not sure what role beeswax actually plays, but then a whole bunch of essential oils. I love this one. It's a limited time fragrance. So if this is of interest to you, let me know. And, for the men, there are, the Sol No. 3 and the Quintana were more a feminine fragrance. For a more masculine fragrance, there's this little sample set that you can buy in some regions at the moment. Amavi is a popular blend that we have from time to time. These are little sample ones of Azul, Noir, and Rosa, which I love. And, each little sample one, they're just 1.5 ml each, probably 5 different outings. So I kind of wear these on my special occasions. I really, really like them. So that is all I had to share with you. Just let me flick screens and see if there's been any questions. If you've got any questions, let me know. Give me 2 seconds while I just flick screens. And sorry, I'm looking off to my other screen. That's why I've suddenly looked off. Struggling to see the comments. See if this will help. It was all running so professionally before, wasn't it? Yeah, so yeah, musk does come from animals, yeah. And hello, Anne, thank you very much for watching as well. So I hope that's been helpful. If I can answer any questions, or if there's anything that hasn't been clear to you, or if you're interested in, grabbing some of these items and switching out some of your perfumes and making those changes, if you've got your perfumes, do you need to throw them in the bin? No. But I would probably cut them down to real special occasions, wearing them definitely not daily, maybe not even weekly, but even once or twice. And once I run out, I would just start bringing in essential oils and natural fragrances like doTERRA makes here, and using them instead. Not only are you're reducing the amount of toxins. You might go, well, Adam, I wear perfume every day and I feel totally healthy. Yeah, but your body is still fighting off those toxins each day. And if it didn't have to do that, what would it use its energy for more? To deal with maybe stress, or to boost your immune system, or improve your digestion, all those other things as well. So we're always going to be exposed to petrochemicals, plastics, toxins in our environment. But if we can cut down the amount that we're actually putting on our body, and remember that word fragrance is not just in perfumes and colognes, it's also found in our body washes, in our skincare, in our soaps, in cleaning products, all those different things as well, in laundry detergents. And they're getting into our skin, getting into our body as well. So I hope that's been insightful. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, if I can help you out in any way, reach out. I'll talk to you really soon. I'm Adam Barralet. Blessed be.